Hi, my name is Rick Lawrence. I'm author of this book, The Jesus-Centered Life. This book represents really like the last dozen years of my life. About 12 years ago, I reached a tipping point in my life. I had what I might describe as a normal Christian life, well, maybe a little above normal actually, because I worked for a Christian organization. I was author of Christian books. I spoke about Christianity around the country. But in the midst of all that, I had this growing dullness inside, and I didn't really know where it was coming from. And I reached this tipping point actually in the foyer of a massive church where I had been speaking, where I was just so disillusioned with what I was doing and what I was hearing in the church. I didn't know what was happening inside of me, and I sat in this chair and I just begged Jesus, tell me what's going on inside of me. And it was one of those moments where I heard his voice crystal clear. He said, Rick, you're bored by everything but me now. And all of a sudden, all of this weight lifted off of my shoulders. I realized that explanation explained everything in my life. I had slowly, imperceptibly, over a course of time, come to be fascinated with Jesus and not all the tips and techniques of the Christian life. And that started me on a journey to try to delve deeper and more intimately into who Jesus really is. And that's what represents about the first third to a half of this book, is who is the Jesus we've come to embrace? And is he really the Jesus who described himself that way? Or is Jesus, the real Jesus, something different? That's the first third of the book. And then the last 2/3 of the book are what I call the beeline practices. Those are simply everyday practices. It's a menu of practices. You don't have to do all of them. It's just whatever connects with you. But there's 18 of them that you can do in an everyday way that helps you to get closer and closer to Jesus in your everyday orbit. And what happens when you get closer to Jesus in your everyday orbit is he transforms you just by getting close to him. In fact, the language I use in the book is that he ruins you for him. It's just another way of saying that you can never go back, that you've found the love of your life. And the only way that's possible is to do things that get you closer and closer to him. This life is doable. Jesus is not an unknowable mystery. He came to be known. And I'm hoping that by reading the Jesus-Centered Life, in your life, you will know him more deeply than you've ever known him before.